All right. Beautiful day. Well, fuck. Oh yeah. Who? Guy looks like a goddamn woman. Fuck you, Hugh. Oh, what are you doing, 80? Oh my god. Cannot make. Quit allowing that shit. Garland. Good. Go fuck yourself, Sabonis. Now you want to foul me, fucking mophead. Do not test me. I am on edge. Fuck you, Sabonis. Fucking wiener. Cute. Oh, come on. How? Get out of here. Who is that? He's a rookie, more than likely. He was the first overall pick from Nebraska. Hugh Moreland. I love it. I love it. Fuck yeah, I love that. Sorry for disrespecting you, mophead. I'm getting them boards. Thank you, Sexton, for making a fucking shot that I give you. Damn. That Aaron Holiday? Who is that? Aren't there like fucking 3 holidays? Damn, dude, he's right there when I was about to step back. Put McDermott on skates. I'm going for that triple double. It is fucking hard in these little 5 minute quarters. But I know I could do it. Come on, come on. Who is that? Come on. So, not a bad first quarter. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, I think. I played pretty much about a third of the game. So, need to get some more assists here. I got Hugh on me. He cannot guard me though. Indiana would get the fucking white kid from Nebraska with the #1 overall pick. They already have fucking McDermott. Come on, Nance. Get in a good position down there. I'm just gonna play it how it is. Just keep scoring. It's a bonus. I will literally end your career. Hopefully I can get a few more assists, maybe a rebound or two. Hopefully he shoots that, shoots something out there. Boom! Yes, thank you. So it's got 2 assists and a fucking rebound. Let's go. I'm getting what I need. Almost have a triple fucking double at the end of the first half. Give me another rebound. Give me another rebound. Because I feel like it's going to be hard. It's alright. Not bad. 10-7-7 at halftime. Go ahead, get back to me. Oh. That was fucking bully too, though. What are you guys doing? No assist. What is... Come on. Come on, dude. Just let me bring me back in here in like 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, AD. That was clean. Sabonis, you're a fucking punk. Oh, fuck. I'll get my assists, whether I get my rebounds or not. Perfect. Shoot that. Fuck you, McDermott. Larry Nance, you're gonna fucking foul out, dude. Oh, I got my double-double. Really, I probably could have had 20 points too, but I'm too focused on these rebounds and these assists. Alright, time for me to start scoring.
afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon.
No? Wow, wow, wow. What up, dude? What is going on? Stay safe. Wash your fucking hands. Hopefully, you watched my last video, like the first fucking 6 minutes or so. Uh, but I just went over my whole views on the quarantine. Ah, fuck you. Get off of me. Nance, why don't you make a goddamn shot? Oh, great. We have Dante Exum on the big. This is what happens, man. Don't fucking switch. Yeah, I get that. Oh, him with the dab. I know, man. Like, a lot of fucking places are closed right now. Um, Luckily, I still have my job since I work at a nursing home. People need the care. Um, but if it was any other job that I've had in the past where I worked with food, that would be a no. But people just gotta be smart, man. Just gotta be smart. You gotta be able to sacrifice, you know, some of the stuff that you enjoy. It's a hard time for everybody, but you gotta be able to do the simple things that are gonna uh, restrict the virus from spreading any more than it needs to. Dude, for sure. How do I get you on this stream? And I better be in the fucking 3 point contest. I better be in this 3 point contest. I'm 4 for 7 tonight from three. I better be in it. T Sayer says keep shooting. See if I can do that. Pretty sure I know how to do that. Party. Where are you at? Where you at? Oh, there you are. Holy Toledo, dude, are you in? Yeah! Hey!
What's going on, brother?
Not much, dude. Not much. I think. Go ahead and say something.
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I on the stream?
Oh, yeah, you're good. I just wanted to make sure if I turn my volume down on my TV, I'd still be able to hear you alright.
Cool, man. Cool. So what's going on?
Not much, dude. I'm taking a little study break right now. Got an exam tomorrow for one of my classes, so just thought I would get on and play some 2K. That's what I've been playing a lot of lately, so
Right. Thanks for letting me call in, dude.
no problem, man. What I was talking about yesterday, though, was it's just fucking ridiculous how many people are kind of just blowing this whole virus thing up. I mean, I know it's
Right.
pretty important, but like, in all honesty, like I don't think that this is gonna be um, like as big as some people think it's gonna be. Um, it's kind of like swine flu. That there's always something before the election. There's always something before the election.
Well, so my buddy brought up a really good point. Something that I'm probably going to take with me for the rest of my life. He said, as far as the media goes, let no tragedy go wasted in politics. So, obviously, this is a somewhat serious situation. Yeah, people are dying. I don't want to make light of that. But it's definitely being used by the media to help push some kind of political agenda. That's the way it always is. And that's just what's smart to do is to get any kind of tragedy, whether the president had anything to do with it or not, blame it on the president, use it to help the president, whatever it may be, whatever political party, let no tragedy go wasted. And I think that's really the case that we're dealing with here. It's a tragedy, however much of a tragedy you see it as, may or may not see it as. But they're going to blow it up, the left or anybody who's against Trump. They're going to blow it up, and anything that Trump does in this tragedy situation where people are dying and people are losing their jobs, they're going to try to use it so that they can get their politicians elected come the next election, whether that's the presidency, senators, anybody in the cabinet, anything like that. So it's that's kind of the perspective I've been trying to keep with it, especially as I view how the media is handling it right now. Is okay, how are they handling this so that they can push their agenda to the maximum efficiency and to the maximum impact to get what they like.
No, I completely get what you're saying, and it makes sense. It's just the public doesn't want to see that. Most of the public doesn't want to see that. They don't want to believe it. Um, like I wouldn't even say most of the public. People that support people on the left, I would say. Um, because obviously Trump's in power, and they're gonna want somebody to come in and on their side, come into office, and they're blaming all this shit on Trump. It's just like a few months ago when, not even a few months ago, when Trump started calling this virus the Chinese virus. Even months before Trump started calling it the Chinese virus, the fucking left was calling it the Chinese virus, and now they're labeling him as a racist. It's that sort of thing. I mean, you gotta put it to perspective. A lot of people don't want to see it. I'm sure there's stuff, to be completely honest with you, that we don't see that, we use against the left. But I don't think it could be bias, but really I don't think it is bias. I think they try to use a lot more of that shit against us than we use against them.
Yeah, and hey, if Obama or a Democrat, Hillary, let's say if Hillary was the president right now, I'm sure that I would be looking at this virus differently. I'm sure that however she was handling it, I would try to find ways to poke holes in it or say she's not doing enough or maybe she's doing too much, whatever it may be. and that's just something that comes with a bias, but it's and so obvious with the left and how they're treating it that it's just being blown way out of proportion. And once again, I want to make clear, yeah, people are dying, and I'm not going to make light of that. I do think that there is a little bit of an over exaggeration. Like, dude, okay, the masks are day. I think it was last Thursday. I was running with a buddy, and we were doing a workout, and we run up alongside this road that's connected to a highway in our state, and we're running, and this guy in a pickup truck's going pretty slow, and he had on a full respirator, like the legit mask with the two ends on both sides, and it was like, to me, that was just like, wow, dude, this is just an over exaggeration. The way that you're treating it is way too much. You don't need to go to that level in order to protect yourself. And it's just causing mass panic. I mean, all you have to do is look at the stores and just peek your head into any kind of a grocery store and just see the egg aisle just completely wiped out, the toilet paper aisle completely wiped out. It's inciting panic, and that's not what we need to be doing. Obviously, we should take it for as serious as it is and handle it correctly and with respect. But I think because of going back to what I said with, make no tragedy go wasted, let no tragedy go wasted, because of how the media is pushing this as way worse than I believe than it actually is, it's inciting panic. And man, that's affecting our lives, and that's going to start affecting our economy. And that's definitely something I want to get your take on, is just how many people have been losing their jobs as a result to the shutdowns that have had to happen, the quarantines that have had to happen. I know where you live is things have gotten a little bit more, things have progressed a little bit faster than where I did. But as of last week, we had to shut down all fitness centers. We had to shut down all really anywhere where anybody could meet more than a couple people. And so that has affected a lot of jobs, affected a lot of people I know personally. It's affected the gym I'm a part of. And it's like a lot of people are now in a state of like, well, what do I do?
Yeah, I think one of the first things I'll say is I'm kind of surprised, like with Georgia being a pipeline to Florida, where like a lot of people have gone and traveled for spring break and all that stuff. I'm surprised that some of this stuff hasn't happened sooner. Like I would have thought, like the senator would have like, um, would have, done something sooner, rather than later compared to states like Ohio or some Midwestern state, or, whatever. That's one of the first things I'll say. And reasons behind that, I'm not sure. Is it smart or is it like, the right thing to do? I don't know. But I completely agree with you, man. Like I think a lot of people on the left, um, they're saying, when they're inducing this panic, they're saying, oh, like this shutdown could last like 3 months. We won't have a country if this shutdown lasts 3 months. Like we will not have a nation if this shutdown lasts for 3 months. Um, Trump signing that bill the other day, giving families, money and, some stabilization for the next, hopefully only about few weeks to a month is great. Um, I think he said on average about $3,400 is going to be given to families, whatever, across the nation. That's great. I think him helping out students and younger kids our age by giving stipends of, I think it's $1,200, um,
Right.
just depending on your status. That's great. But I definitely think I have to agree with you, man. Like, I think that them trying to push their agenda, the media, the mainstream media, trying to basically, I think, really trying to ruin our lives. Um, I think that's really what they're trying to do. just in order to prove their point is absolutely baffling to me. And I think it's you've seen it in the past. Like there are probably examples of it in the past that I just can't think of right now or that I'm unaware about. But it's a dirty thing to do, man. And I don't think these people love our country as much as they love the idea of their power or their political party being in power. It's a whole power thing. It's a power trip. Um, but the one thing I also will say is if any of them were in charge right now, that our country would be in a deeper hellhole than it is already. Um,
Oh yeah, and I think you bring up a great point. Is it's like these people want to be right so bad and want their agenda pushed so bad, they're willing to see the country crumble in the process.
oh, for
And
sure.
that's just baffling because okay, say you do get everything that you want, but in the midst of that, America becomes a second world country.
Yeah,
Have you really won? Because now you don't have the power you used to have. You don't have the strength. You don't have the unity. You don't that you that the nation had before you started pushing your agenda. And so now you're really not that powerful. And that is really what's baffling. If you have your beliefs, if you have your opinions, that's great. We live in a country where that's encouraged everybody to have their own opinion, and the government isn't going to force you to only be of one mind and one belief. Okay, and so absolutely, the Democratic Party or the left party, they're absolutely entitled to their opinion, but ultimately, the goal should be for the United States of America to be the most powerful country that it can be, so that it's best for the nation, that's best for the people living in it, that's best for the economy. And I think we have to get to the point where we choose to not be selfish. And if there's something that, man, we don't completely agree with, but is ultimately going to be best for the nation, then we need to encourage that. We need to get behind that
yeah,
party you're a part of and not just draw so many lines. Or I'm a Democrat, so I can't believe this, or I can't stand behind that. Or even though President Trump is doing this and it's a good thing for our country, or I have to not encourage him or say that I'm happy about it, even though ultimately what he's doing, whether I like him or not, is something that's good for me and my family and for the other people who live in this country. And that's what's baffling. Is like need we should never be so dogmatic about something that we're willing to watch our country burn in the process. Because, like you said, man, 3 months time, if things stay this way, we might not have a country, or China might become the number one country. And if that's the case, man, things are going to change radically. I love our country, and I'm very prideful of the fact of where I live at, and happy where I live at. And ultimately, I want what's best for America, and I want to see America still be the strongest nation by the time I die. I don't want there to be a time in my life where it's like, man, yeah, I remember the good old days when the United States was number one or number three, number two, whatever it may be.
yeah. No, it's interesting, man. I think you bring up a really solid point there. Just the whole um, working together thing. Don't have to see eye to eye on everything, but it is crazy. The world that we live in currently, um, and just like you said, just the amount of panic, just being induced. But to try to stop this panic that the left started, really, we do have to work together. If they want to fucking push these problems and cause all these problems, then they're going to have to work with the right and the people that are in power right now to come up with solutions. And also, they shouldn't be criticizing Trump or anybody else for this when we have closed borders, we have all this other stuff that he's put into effect, and if they don't want to work together, then there's not going to be a solution. We're not going to have a country, and it will be sad to say, um, if this country, someday, like you said, here in 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, however long it is, years, that we aren't number one. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be number one. Um, so I think we're really seeing, I think right now, after all this clears up, I think we will see a lot of people realizing what's been going on and see the truth. And I think it will be a huge turning point in this country. And hopefully, our country isn't too affected by what's been going on right now to where it gets to that point. But it's on the people whether or not they want to see the truth or whether they want to keep, eating the lies and just, accepting what the left is saying, and all that sort of garbage. So it's a really shitty time for everybody here in the States.
It's a time unlike any that you and I have lived in. I've had a couple interesting conversations with some people who I work with who are uh, years older than I am, and the common consensus with them, the common thread with almost every conversation I've had, when I say, have you ever seen another time like this in your lifetime? Really, what they say is the only other time that I can compare this to is to 9/11. And that's just wild to me because, man, two towers came down. The Pentagon lost one of its wings. Thousands of Americans died on that day. And it's just fascinating that this is something close to that.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I've just been doing some quote unquote investigative journalism myself, just talking to people who I meet. I think the most interesting conversation I've had, at least with somebody who I didn't know, was a girl checking me out at a grocery store last week, I think it was. And I was just picking up a few items. I, of course, saw some very frantic people in the grocery stores. And this girl who was checking me out, she looked like she was about our age. And she was acting like everything was normal, and I was like, how have things been here? And she's like, well, really busy. And I was like, have you seen many crazy people? And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, a lot of crazy people, a lot of people with just hearts overflowing with stuff. And she's like, I just really don't see a need for all this. She's like, we're not gonna run out of food. We're not gonna run out of supplies with where we're at right now, but everybody's freaking out as though we are. And she's like, just the feeling or the general vibe inside of the store is just completely different compared to the way it was 2 weeks ago. And I just find that so interesting. I think it's just very telling to the amount of panic that really has been induced. And it's going back to the point we just made of like, yeah, pushing your agenda is one thing, but doing it to the point where Americans begin to suffer and our economy begins to suffer, or where the common man begins to be afraid, man, we should never get to that
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I'd like to bring up too that we haven't talked about yet is mental health. I mean, during all this time, we talk about inducing panic, but I don't know if we really think too much about what that panic can do to people. And there are people like me where, I take a lot of pride in mental health. It's a very important thing. A year ago, I got put on anxiety medicine. I just currently stopped taking it because I didn't feel like I needed it anymore. But, my ability to go in and get help was really important. And, I think it's a very huge and underrated topic that, kind of gets passed by. And during this time where there are people that are stressing about, um, their jobs, their income, their family, you name it. I mean, you know, I've been trying to reach out to as many people as possible, and just checking in with them and just making sure that they're all right. Um, because it's a completely just fucked situation we got right now. A lot of people are worried about a lot of different things, obviously, but there are a lot of people that are also self-isolated. Like me, I was gonna go back home to Columbus from Bowling Green this weekend, but I chose not to just because I thought it would be the smarter thing to do. But for the past, I don't even know how many weeks, probably 2 weeks. It's felt like eternity, but for the 2 weeks, it's just been me up here in a five-person house. It's just been me. This is like really the first time in my life where I've really just been on my own. Um, you have points in time where, summer break, you're at home by yourself for so much of the day, but your parents come home and you get to see them, you get to talk to them, whether you want to or not, you're able to, and you're able to, physically see them, be close to them, whatever. But I haven't been able to do that, for the past 2 weeks. Of course, I have a choice. I could go back home, but I'm trying to do the smart thing and just, stay home, just listen to kind of the orders given to me. Um, but that can take a toll, a serious toll on people. For people that haven't experienced such a thing, for people who are stressing even more than I am to be on their own. Um, it's rough and it's a serious thing. So, that's kind of something I want to get your take on, kind of just mental health during this time.
Yeah, so I think it's obviously like bring it up. It's different for everybody because everybody's at sort of a different stage in mental health. More people, there's some people who are going to take this a lot harder than others, as with it. And I know for me, just the way I'm built, I need human interaction with other people. The way that I am is like I need human interaction with other people, and I'm all about that for a long period of time. Then there comes a point where it's like, all right, I need to retreat, kind of get back to my house, and then just recoup. And I'm talking like, man, like that's like a thing I'll go on for like I'll want to be around people like how do I put this? I want to be around people like almost every day of the month. But then there might be like one day in the month where it's like, all right, like I just want to go back home, close my door, just get some personal me time, and I just kind of like recover during that time. So everybody's kind of wired a little bit differently, and I think everybody needs to be sensitive to how they're wired if they know that, and try to advocate to that as much as possible. Now, the reality of me seeing people every day still isn't quite a reality anymore. What has been really freeing for me has been meeting up with people in my gym who are doing at-home workouts. So because our gym can't meet anymore, they let us take a bunch of equipment home, and so I got like a barbell and some free weights and some plates, and so we've just been meeting together in pairs of two or three, and so I'm still able to kind of get that social interaction, but at a limited spot, not nearly as much as I usually get, because I'm usually around people almost all the time, through, whether it be through work, because I work in an office, or whether it be through the gym after work, or church. I'm almost constantly around people. So for me, like, I've gotten to the point where there's been a couple days where it's like I've gotten cabin fever, which is where it's like I just need to get out of the house. Like I just need to go do something. And so for the days that I haven't been able to meet up with somebody to do a workout or to just hang out for a little bit, I have found it very therapeutic to just go on a drive for myself and maybe just go pick up some food, whatever it may be, just a 15-minute drive. I found I've really enjoyed that a lot more in the past couple weeks that I've been quarantined than ever before in my life. So I think if you don't have the kind of community where you can meet up with somebody, or you don't feel like that's something safe, you don't feel like that's something that you're comfortable with, totally understand that. But I would still encourage you to go on a drive, and I think by extension, I would encourage you to support some kind of local business, whether it be a family owned restaurant or whether it be a chain that is still privately owned. Um, because there's a lot of restaurants that are going to take a big toll during this time, and a lot of businesses that might not make it out on the other side just because they've had to close down their dining room, they can't pay their servers anymore, or whatever the case may be. So, use this as kind of an excuse to go out and just pick up some food. I know a lot of restaurants are still operating through drive-through, operating through pickup or curbside pickup. I think still a lot of like the lit or not Lyft, but like the food apps, like the Uber Eats and all that. I think those are still operational. So if you're still making money, I think I would encourage somebody who's listening to still try to go and inject that into the economy, inject that into your local businesses to the best that you can during this time, so that our economy doesn't hurt as bad, and so that maybe your favorite local pizza joint, barbecue place can still stay open as a result to your patronage. I think that's kind of my take as far as the mental health thing goes, is do what you need to do in order to stay healthy, because I don't know how long we're going to be in this for. We might be in this for another month where we're operating like this. And so you don't want to get yourself to the point where you're almost breaking down before you start doing things. Start figuring out the things that you need to be doing in order to keep your mental health in check. In order to keep your mental health in check now, before it gets to the point where it's like, man, I already have some damage, or I've already felt the effects, and I've got a long way to recover now as a result. So I think that's kind of my take on it. You kind of gave your take a little bit, but do you have anything else to say on that?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of like you. I can agree with you. I mean, everybody everybody's kind of at different stages. A lot of people kind of consider mental health to be, various different things. Some people kind of see it more as depression. Some people kind of see it more as like anxiety, that sort of thing. So yeah, some people I think are coping well, coping better than others. I have been able, obviously, I go to work. I do work pretty frequently right now. So just being able to go to work and interact with people there has really helped me out a lot. I've been off for the past few days, but it's kind of been nice just to not have to, work or do anything. But I hope that people are taking it seriously. People are kind of, more so people our age, because a lot of people are, still they're fucking making memes, or they're not taking this virus as seriously as they should be. I'm not saying that in the sense like, this is a fucking pandemic, but more so that, mental health, people's jobs, that sort of thing, businesses, they do need to realize kind of the consequences of something like this going on. That's really all I have to say about the whole mental health aspect of it. Um, but
Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was done.
I did want to say, on the bright side of everything going on, um, I know a number of guys, two or three, who I'm pretty close with at my gym or church, and they have families. They're at the place in life where they have kids who are 10 and younger. And the consensus with them is they're like, I've been able to spend more time with my family in the
Hmm.
past couple weeks than I have in months or in years, really. And I don't know about you. I don't know how much you've made it out of the house, but just as far as me driving from point A to point B, I've seen more people taking walks in my neighborhood and actually like waving and just wanting to talk more than usual. And so I think that this can be used for good. I think this can be used as a sort of reset button, to hit that and to make some changes in our lives that we weren't making before. I think that this virus might have rattled some people up to show them, maybe you aren't invincible. You're not as strong as you think. Maybe humble some people because things have been good in our country for a very long time, and we've had a great sense of security in this country. We've had a great sense of prosperity and things flourishing, with the general citizen, I would say. Obviously, there's people who struggle. Obviously, there's people who have made bad decisions and don't feel that way. But just the general citizen who's made the right decisions in their lives, I would say that they would agree with that. And I think as a result of this, maybe some people are going to be humbled. And more than that, maybe some people are going to start making some changes in their lives where they're not so worried about what Facebook says anymore or how many followers they have on Instagram anymore. Maybe we've gotten too obsessed with ourselves and too prideful and think that we're all that. And maybe we can view this as a reset button because of the changes we've had to make, because of people being able to spend more time with their family. Maybe we can begin to value things more. And I'm not saying that it's bound to happen, but I hope that it happens. And I think that there is some good that can ultimately come out of this in the long run.
Yeah, as much as I've been saying, I hope people kind of see and take away the consequences of, the whole what's been going on, as far as, you know, what happens when you literally, you know, panic a nation for no reason, um, and kind of the consequences like that. Like you said, I think the biggest thing I agree with is people being able to spend more time with their families, um, stuff like that. I hope people do uh, really see the good in all this too, and they enjoy kind of their time working from home, that sort of thing. I hope they don't take I hope they don't take stuff for granted either. I hope they don't take their liberties and their freedom that they have in this country for granted. Because what we have going on right now is as bad as it is for us right now, it is so worse in like so many other countries in the world. It's ridiculous. Just hearing some of the people that constantly complain about how the world is unfair and this and that. Those sorts of people, how they will not shut their traps about anything. Pretty much the libtards. You know, oh, I can't go to Starbucks. I can't do this. I can't fucking I can't I don't know. You name it. Um, it's just people take so much shit for granted and they don't realize how lucky they are to really be where they are right now. So that's kind of my whole fucking spiel on, the positives. I hope people can see it, but a lot of people are pessimistic and they aren't optimistic.
I think you bring up a good point, and not just for the libtards, but for everybody, because we've gotten some quote unquote freedoms taken away. Not really, but just because we haven't been able to go do things that we normally do, like meet at a gym, at a church, whatever it may be, because we can't go in and eat somewhere, because we can't meet up with somebody for coffee, because we can't go take a girl out as easily as we could, 2 months ago. Maybe we will begin to appreciate the freedoms that we do have a little bit more. Maybe when we get on the other side of this thing, hopefully we won't grow callous and just as soon as we get them back, just go for taking those freedoms for granted. But who has been born and raised in this country, I think it's easy. I don't completely blame people for taking their freedoms for granted because they might not know anything else. And I think just a few things taken away, or there's a few things that we can't do that we used to be able to do all the time. You know, no problem, nobody's saying anything about it. Maybe we can come out on the other side and just take things for granted. Or we can appreciate things a little bit more. Do the opposite of taking things for granted. Actually appreciate them and not take everything for granted. So I think that could be another positive. Just knowing people. I think that may be the attitude for a couple of months once we get our freedoms, quote unquote freedoms back, or just the ability to do things like we used to. But I don't know. You know, I hope that we can end up making this better for the country and having this in 6 months somehow be a good thing. And I hope ultimately that we can just recover from this and the economy. Because, man, the economy and just with some of the changes President Trump has made, our economy has been doing really well. So I hope we can get back there. I hope this is just sort of
A bump in the road. You still there? Hello? Hello? I think I lost Brad. See if he tries to reconnect. You there? Brad, if you want, I can hear you heating up some kielbasa. Hopefully this. Yeah, I hear you now. I think one of the biggest reasons why I'm being optimistic about this whole thing too, and why I've been telling people, hey, like I think this isn't really going to be a problem here in a month, is I'm trusting science. Um, as a scientist, I wouldn't say a scientist yet, but somebody who wants to be a scientist, a chemist. Um, did I tell you about the guy from the Nobel Prize winner in chemistry back in 2013? Well, this guy basically won the Nobel Prize in chemistry back in 2013. He's a professor at some accredited university out in California. I can't remember which one. But basically, he was doing studies, and he was doing studies on the Chinese. And who knows if this news is really as accurate as I think it is. I really never believe what I read, but I do like to believe some of the stuff that I read. But he basically did a study on China when this outbreak first started, kind of back in late January. And after a few weeks, he was successfully able and accurately able to predict how many people would be infected by the virus, how many people would die, and then kind of just like the drop off numbers. And with a population as big as China's, um, his ability to be as accurate as he was within like a thousand people with like what he was doing. He said like so many people would be like 3.4 million would be infected and like 80,000 were gonna die, and he was like right there within 1,000 with each one of these. Um, Very interesting stuff. He also has looked at other developed and undeveloped nations, both of which have either A, done stuff to try to prevent the virus, or B, done nothing to try to prevent the virus. And he has basically been able to predict accurately with those countries too the peaks, the people infected, all that sort of jazz. So with a country like the United States, though, what's kind of, I think, throwing things off is just the amount of people that are traveling around, especially during this time of year with spring break. But like I said, here in about 2 weeks, hopefully we can get a good number or a prediction of some sort. Um, but he basically said this isn't going to be a big deal. And I don't think it really is. Kind of like we already alluded to, I feel like this is more of like a swine flu sort of thing, where, we have actual swines right now trying to, pretty much just put their damper on the nation as a whole to push their political agenda. So Troy Sayer would not be proud. He said like yeah, he said here in like a month's worth. But like the whole thing with science too, man, is like science can't be made up. It can't be made up. But at the same time, like if you're a fucking scientist and you are a fucking libtard, for example, like you're going to be pushing your science out and your numbers out to support that this virus is going to spread, and you will find any possible way probably to try to prove that this virus is spreading and that it's going to kill people and that, fucking Hillary Clinton's vagina is I don't even know. But, like I said, um can't make up science. Hopefully people are using science for the right reasons and not push their political shit into it either. But we're fucking, this fucking is fucking heated up bullshit.
Yeah, man. It'll be something interesting, and someday it will be something that we just look back on and tell our kids about or whatever. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it, just how it progresses. Do you personally had to get infected?
I do not, do you?
No, I don't. I don't. But I've just kind of been asking people that just to see if anyone has, because I don't.
The really to interrupt thing, one of my buddies who was dumb down to Florida for spring break like a retard. Um, he was at a restaurant where somebody they had eaten, like I don't know how, but apparently somebody at the restaurant had he's up here in Bowling Green right now. Obviously, he was that close. Just ridiculous, dude. It's why I was telling people, do not fucking travel.
Right, right. Yeah, another thing that sucks is what's you had to push your wedding back, or just inclement weather was apparently supposed to be going on. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon's having a kid in May.
Peace out.
Yeah,
Really, I had no idea.
really.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be an uncle in May.
How about that, dude? So what's
think they're just together right now. Um, oh jeez, choked on a fucking potato. Um, but no, they doing well. Little Mary's expected in early May. Uh huh. He wanted to name her. He wanted to name her Mary Jane. I'm not kidding you. Like, get your swine flu having ass out of here. Like a little over a year. Not too long, but hey, man, like, obviously, I don't think they meant for it to happen, obviously. But, what the fuck? Oh, okay. They've literally been together for like a year, but it was like, I think it was more of an accident. But I'm telling you right now, dude, me and B Style were both accidents. We were not fucking, we were not planned. I think most of us are just fucking accidents, and then you just kind of. It's alright. How do you think Troy Sayers taking all this right now? Dude, yeah, I'm about to be graduating college here soon, dude. It's a crazy thought. Um, it's wild, but I agree, man. Like I really do miss some of the people back in high school more than I thought I would. Mainly just some of the teachers. Like I miss Sarah obviously, but like I also miss like Mr. Gimrick. Like I absolutely love that guy. I didn't really think too much about it, but that guy was awesome. Miss Gimrick. Um, and some of the people too. I think I missed, but it's just God, it's interesting to see kind of where we all are in life right now. Yeah, I mean, I it's just kind of like Bowling Green's kind of obviously the city's not this. I don't even call it the city, the town. Town's kind of just taking me in, man. Like it's a very interesting little town, um, in northwest Ohio. It's nowhere near Columbus. Um, it's just basically it's a little farm town, and then you got the university, but otherwise you got downtown, you got some neighborhoods, but otherwise it's just farmland, and it kind of reminds me of home, like my mom's house, and that's kind of where I miss my mom's house, um, and I miss Lake Darby. I miss going down to the tracks and going down to the creek. Um, I saw somebody was down there on my Snapchat story. I couldn't remember who it was the other day, but they were being buffoons down there. I feel like whoever goes down there is just going down there to be a buffoon. Like, fucking being hooligans. But, I know, I remember it was like some winter day we went towards there, and it was, I can't remember what we were doing, but I want to say we were either like off school or like it was after. I want to say we were off school. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. That is what it was. There's always somebody. There's always somebody that was stuck in like the lunchroom. They're like, "Please take me home, please." I'm like, Raj, I am not taking you home. Like, you are not stepping foot in my car. I'm sorry. Dude, I had to like bribe. I bribed what's his name? Oh, the study hall teacher, Mr. Beavers, bro. I would bribe him with gum. I'd be like, I'll give you a piece of gum if I can go home. He's like, all right. He's like, don't say anything. I'm like, all right, fatty. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything. Just let me fucking leave. He's like, where's my piece of gum at? Where's my piece of gum at? I'm like, dude, I have to go get another pack because your fat ass keeps chewing my entire fucking pack. Like, do you blame him though? Yeah, I agree. Uh, I I'm trying to think of like some other fucking teachers I had that like were very interesting. Um, Let me think. Freshman year, I had Fout, Tarloff, Gimrick, Sayer, Fred Newhousel, the Spanish teacher. He was pretty A1. Uh, there were a few other teachers I thought I had that year. Um, When I had Angelo Forte though for junior year, uh, saying that he wanted to be a part of the Italian mob coming out of high school. That was pretty fucking interesting. No, 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 not him. Uh, he's look up Angelo Forte on like Twitter, or, like on Safari, something. But like, he's pretty much this like he kind of looks like an Italian Toad version, like no Italian version of Bout, like also just like kind of Toad looking, like you see him?
I don't know, dude. I can't find him. I'm looking. The name sounds familiar. I know it's not the guy who I was thinking of now, but
Yeah, just look up Angelo. It's like same Angelo and then Forte, Forte.
hold on, dude. Let me download Facebook again.
Hilliard Bradley, dude. He told us he's like you can go anywhere in life. And he's like, when I got out of high school, he's like, I wanted to be a part of the Italian mob. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, your ass would not make it. I'm sorry. But, like, even if, like, they would not allow you to do chores because you wouldn't be willing to do the chores. Like,
Oh wait, was he a teacher?
yeah.
Oh, oh, that guy. Yeah. No, 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 no. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a part of the mob.
Yeah.
That's some stupid he would say, dude. I can't remember if I had him. No, I didn't have him.
So then he took 4 years to realize what he wanted to do after working at like a pizza shop or something, and then fucking went to college, became an English teacher, and he's been in Hilliard schools ever since.
Feels so funny.
That guy is a fucking fraud. Like, I'm sorry, but you do not resemble anything Italian mob related. He wouldn't last fucking he wouldn't last fucking a day doing some of the chores. Fucking Dago. Fuck that guy, dude. He pissed me off more than I realized. He was pretty cool and he liked me a lot, but like I would like come in like with Eli high and we'd be like, ugh. I had him like one of my early classes and like we would just be like not doing anything and he'd want us to read, so we were just reading on our own. And that was like at the same point where like he let me go out in the hallway. So I'll just go out there and fucking play on my phone for like 50 minutes and then midget Sam, what's her name? Sam. What's her What's her last name though? Fuck, that's really gonna bother me. Um, fuck. Anyway, she would come in, dude. She would come in drunk every day. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I would imagine one shot of vodka would probably just like have you on the floor. Uh, but she would come and tell me her life story every day, and that's how we got close. Um, it was just an interesting junior year, filled with depression, hoping that I was a senior, able to graduate and get out and venture on. When did you guys move to Atlanta?
2018. I've been here for 2 years technically, basically.
So yeah, dude, I wish you could have fucking went to school with me and Eli, man. Like I know that's probably not what you exactly wanted to do, was go to school right away. But
Yeah, I I don't know, man. I've often wondered if this is where I want to be, where like if it's looking back, but I'm really happy with where I'm at now. I was in a couple of
Right. Yeah, I feel it, man. Like, I kind of sometimes wish you were still back up here, though, and a little closer, but, like, we're still able to talk and everything. But, like, we have so much time to still figure it out, man. Like, it's not even, I mean, you could definitely like where you're at right now, but, and feel discontent, at some other point, but I've still got a lot of time to figure it out. Um, I just made my LinkedIn today. Um, Trying to get some, yeah, some. That's probably why. You there, Brad? Darn. Shake for the young buck sitting in the honky tonks. Hey, you there? Are you pretty financially stable? Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of the challenges,
Right.
especially given the chances that I have to move up in the company and to really make a decent amount of money that will potentially be enough that it's like just as much as some of my friends who went through college are making. And so because I have that opportunity and because I went through college and I was when I was going through college, um, having that reality in place, I feel like I should just stay. And I don't ever want that to let me to them to force me to stay here. But you know, I see my competition in the world, and that's what I'm saying.
I get that. And where are you? Like, where are you working right now? Like, what exactly are you doing?
I work for an insurance company, and basically what I do is when companies put on insurance, I I just um, get their applications, and then I choose. I it's kind of hard to explain, but basically the companies who want insurance from my company, I get their applications, and then I make sure that everything's legitimate about them, and then I send them out to our underwriters, and those are the people who usually just they decide if they want to take to the next to insure the company or not. So they are the ones that ultimately make the decision. But I'm kind of a gatekeeper in that, like if we've already received something for a company from one person, we have to make a submission from them. So that's kind of what I do, and I'm just basically an assistant mostly to our not our district manager, our referral manager team.
Gotcha. That's not bad, man. Um, like hourly, how much are you making?
Right now, about $20 an hour, so
Damn.
it's
Yeah, dude, that's good.
yeah, yeah. So I'm enjoying it, and definitely pays the bill.
Yeah, I'm currently I'm still at the retirement home, fucking cooking food, making $12 per hour just to get bitched at about my food. Ah, this is too salty. Just like this in it. I don't care. You eat your fucking food. I don't care. It's good food. You don't know what good cooking is. All right?
All right.
These fucking meatballs fucking just want to simmer too long, but not letting them do that, man. Like they are fucking. Some of them are fucking brats. So
That's
it's interesting stuff, but really, I'm trying to work on getting an internship. Um, getting an internship so I can get my big boy job here within the next probably a year and a half if I graduate on time. At least get some sort of start. Thing about me is I'm not sure where my job, what I'm trying to do, where it could take me. I'm not worried about it. I'm just kind of anxious about it. Like, if I'm moving out of state, like I want to be able to meet, friends and shit like that and do that sort of thing. Settle in well. But, I've always kind of dreamed about living out west, uh, starting my own empire out there, uh, spreading my beliefs about about the about World War II and how Hitler was a jerk, but nobody likes to listen to me up here, so
all right, man. Well, hey, it's been fun talking to you. It's been fun catching up with you and chewing the fat, talking about some opinions and all that.
No problem, dude. I'll keep in touch with you this week. Probably I enjoy talking to you, man. We'll have to have a nice little conversation again later on this week. But I got an exam tomorrow I haven't even fucking studied for, so I gotta quit fucking beating my meat and I gotta start studying for that. So,
All right, man. Well, enjoy. I'll talk to you later.
all right, peace out, homie.
See you, man.
See ya.